affecting so many people. Back to you.
I mean, even with just over an inch of snow yesterday, Reynolds, I'm seeing cars go behind you kind of quickly in that slush, and then they've got the snow on top of the rooftop there and the windshield. Just make sure you get it all off the car, because we are going to be needing the plows for sure when we bring this storm through eastern Mass tomorrow into Monday. Lots of delays and cancellations are likely. All right, Reynolds, we'll get back to you there in Worcester in just a moment. Let's talk about the advisories that we have in effect. In fact, we do have a blizzard warning from the coast of Connecticut down through New York City, Long Island, the Jersey Shore, all the way down to portions of Delaware. First time we've seen a blizzard warning in 4 years. Last time we had this was January 2022. Those snowfall rates could be 1 to 2 inches per hour, visibility at or below a quarter mile, and those sustained winds up and over 30 miles an hour. We could see some bridge closures. The gusts will be even higher than that, up around 50 or 55 miles an hour. So snow going sideways. Here is a look at the big picture here. You see the darker blue. That's where the Weather Service went with winter storm warnings. That does include you guys in Philadelphia. It includes North Jersey, southern Hudson Valley, up into parts of Connecticut as well. For now, in that brighter blue, including where Reynolds is in Worcester, on over towards Boston, also around Baltimore. It is a watch for now, as the Weather Service has yet to upgrade you guys to either a warning or maybe even a blizzard warning. Here is a look at the snowfall. 8 to 12. A lot of dark purple on this map from the Jersey Shore up into the 5 boroughs of New York City. Out on Long Island, we've got the potential to close in on 2 feet of snow. Out here, also Plymouth County out towards the Cape, we could see quite a bit of snow up and down the Mid-Hudson Valley. At least 5 to 8 inches of snow, possibly touching a foot in places like Poughkeepsie, Highland, Kingston, down towards Sullivan County. There's New Jersey, where especially the Jersey Shore, at the same time you've got the winds howling, you've got this kind of snow coming down. But remember, for a blizzard, this doesn't even matter how much snow you're going to end up with. We just happen to have a lot of snow in this forecast. You start off with rain in Philadelphia. This is at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're looking out your window in New York, and the snow has begun. And once the snow begins, it's really going to be tough getting out and about. So put off travel. This is when things really deteriorate quickly. By the afternoon, it is coming down. It is going sideways right along the 95 corridor. There's your rain snow line starting to work its way out to the ocean, and that's where our low pressure is. It's bombing out. Lines of equal pressure very close together, so it's a very wound up, windy system from New York City up towards Hartford, Connecticut, Montauk, the east end of Long Island. It's not just wind and snow, but water piling up along the shoreline here, and Boston eventually tapers off by Monday night. So for a blizzard, has to meet this criteria. So we can't really say for sure it's a blizzard until after the fact, but 35-mile-per-hour winds for at least 3 hours in a row, quarter mile or less when it comes to visibility. It does not matter how much snow you get, the temperature, or even your particular location. But in this particular case, we are calling for quite a bit of snowfall. And driving in these winter weather conditions can be very hazardous. If you have to travel in an area with stormy conditions, you really need to take those extra precautions. Meteorologist Mike Bettis explains. Cannot be ruled out in this situation. Charlotte saw a record high yesterday, getting up into the low 80s. Same thing with Greenville. Record high in Atlanta, 80 degrees. Definitely not normal for mid-February. So the atmosphere correcting itself. We've got a pretty strong system moving on through, and that does bring us the heavy rain and the potential for severe storms. No watches or warnings for the time being, but you might be hearing some thunder here and there. I heard thunder on my way into work here in Atlanta. So just know that when thunder roars, get indoors. We've got the thunderstorms stretching back into Alabama and portions of Mississippi. Just plain old rain as you make your way up toward the Raleigh area. So as we go through the day, we get that daytime heating and more instability feeding into these storms. Look at the darker orange and red on the map, showing the stronger storm potential as we head toward the afternoon time frame, making their way down towards Dothan, Alabama, Auburn, Alabama, into the western panhandle of Florida. And then you've got Savannah, Georgia. Look at the squares of Savannah getting soaked by 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Carolina coast still not clear even as we head into the overnight hours. Sunday morning begins with rain from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, still back to Raleigh. Can't shake the raindrops quite yet, but they will be tapering off, and Sunday will be improving by the afternoon. We need the drink of water. We need the rain. Most areas getting up to an inch, but there are some pockets of darker green, 1 to 2 inches here and there. Georgia has drought from top to bottom. Same thing with Florida. Every county in some form of drought. And we do have the extreme drought showing up in that reddish color across portions of the Carolinas, back into Alabama. So again, we do need the water, reservoirs running low as well. The winds will be increasing and wind direction matters. When you have a north wind gusting 25, 30 miles an hour, that is sending our temperature plummeting over the next couple of days, Sunday into Monday. We're talking about highs going back to the 40s, even 30s for Atlanta, maybe 39 for a high on Monday, and that breeze will make it feel even colder. So don't put away your coats just yet. In fact, we've got a packed show today on America's Weekend Headquarters. We'll talk more about. Well, during the winter, the Hudson River in New York can become frozen and dangerous as temperatures drop. But when it gets too icy, the Coast Guard is here to save the day. The Weather Channel's Katie Tutrone dives deeper into the breaker ships and crews that smash up the ice and rescue stranded vessels. Well, it's not really going to happen probably Sunday into Monday. Not just delays, but probably cancellations. So you can see the airports that will be impacted by or blizzard. We do have blizzard warnings in effect, including the Jersey Shore, New York City, up toward the coast of Connecticut. So that is going to wreak havoc on all these airports right here. You've got the snow, you've got the wind just hammering the I-95 corridor. But even areas inland where you might not see as much snow, you will still have some light to moderate amounts of snow, and that could cause some impacts on the roads and at some of those smaller regional airports as well. Look at our wind potential, the fuchsia, the red just offshore. That's where the low really deepens and strengthens. So that's going to throw wind and snow back at the New England coastline, causing the water to pile up too. Coastal flooding is going to be a concern, more airport delays and probable cancellations as we go through the day on Mondays. We're still seeing that snow coming down, and that means Boston up towards Portland, it is still going to be really, really dangerous to get out there on the roads. So just some safety tips. I know first responders, certain people need to get out there on the road, slow it down, increase your following distance, have the lights on, no sudden braking or steering, and always have, your car equipped with some backup things like supplies. Make sure you have a first aid kit, a blanket, flashlight, cell phone charger, have an extra cell phone battery pack charged up and ready to go, because when we're talking about these kinds of winds, you could lose your power for quite a while. Meteorologist Reynolds Wolf is live in Worcester, Massachusetts, with an update there on the 1.3 inches that we saw yesterday, Reynolds. But that was really just the teaser to the bigger storm that is still coming your way.
No doubt about it.